Coming in 2017.
Hey, what is up, you guys? It's Dustin, and I am back with another video. And in this video, I want to talk about the 5th anniversary of Lipstick Gate. Now, you guys know that a lot of people have been talking about the anniversary of Dramageddon, but what a lot of people forget is shortly after Dramageddon 2 with James Charles, Jaclyn Hill had one of the worst years and made one of the worst mistakes of her life when she dropped Jaclyn Cosmetics. And in this video, I'm going to be reacting to that whole situation, and I have a ton of receipts. So if you guys are here for this, stay tuned to this video. Okay, so before we actually react to Jaclyn Hill addressing everything that happened with her lipsticks and her My Lipstick video, I want to go over the history and what actually happened that got Jaclyn to this point where she had to make that video. And you guys, it's going to be a lot. I've compiled a whole list of things that I want to show you guys just to refresh your memory before we get into the actual video, because I am sure that there are some things that you may not have known or that you may have forgotten. So we're going to start off strong with Jaclyn Hill hinting for years that she was going to come out with this brand, saying that it took her and her mom all these years to come up with this, market it, and put it together. But in hindsight, now we know that that was all a bunch of bull, but I do think it's pertinent. So let's get into it.
Are you ever going to come out with your own line that is in no way a collaboration with any other brand? And yes, I have answered this a couple times before, but yes, I am currently working on, should I show you guys? No, I'm not going to show you guys. I have a prototype of something, but I'm not going to show you. But yes, I am currently working.
I love how like she dangles the carrot just to like keep you interested enough, hoping she's gonna drop this stuff. This was before like Morphe. This was before like she got into all that with them.
On something that is 100% Jaclyn Hill. I am the one that is paying for it. I am my only investor, and it is my product that I'm coming out for you guys. I've been working on it for almost 2 full years. It's been 23 months that I've been working on it. So yeah, coming soon, coming soon.
Was it though? Was it coming soon? Because it wasn't. It wasn't coming soon at all. Jaclyn Hill's fans waited on this forever, and she teased it forever as well. I remember they were even passing around pictures that they found on her Snapchat. In the background, they had found like her tube that she was going to be using for this lipstick, and that was years before Jaclyn Cosmetics ever came out.
I keep thinking, I keep saying to everybody, like, I just don't know how to repay you guys for everything that you've done for me. And honestly, the only thing that I can really come up with is that I promise you right here and now that I will never sell out. I promise you that I will never lie to you. I promise you that I will never put money above a relationship.
Girl, how are you gonna lie and say you're never gonna sell out? You're never gonna lie to your subscribers when that's all you did for years. Girl, bye.
With my subscribers, I promise you that I will stay true to myself and I will stay true to you. I promise you that I will only talk about things that I genuinely love. I promise you.
Overall, the #1 asked question is, am I going to have my own cosmetic line? Is that a rumor or is it true? So I figured that that's the question that I would start with, since it is like literally every other tweet. And yes, I am going to have my own cosmetic line.
The lie detector determined that that was a lie.
Dropping hints, and I've been talking about it for years now. My mom and I have been working on it for 3 years. I am doing everything, every single little time.
Now, mind you, this is a year after the previous clip before where she said she wasn't going to sell out. So this is another year. This is another year that she had people waiting. So this is like 2016, 2017.
Detail on my own. I am the only one paying for it. I am the only one in control. It has been such a learning experience. It has been so hard.
And girl, can we all say that that aged like milk? This aged terribly, Jaclyn. Terribly.
My mom and I are working our butts off, but I wanted to be able to make sure that whatever I put my name on is like fully mine, and I can take full responsibility and can be my creation. So that's what we're working on right now. The launch.
But did you take responsibility, Jaclyn? Do we actually feel like Jaclyn Hill, before we even get into the rest of this video, do you guys really think that Jaclyn Hill ever took accountability for this? Or for anything for that matter? I don't.
Keeps getting pushed back because we keep running into walls, and it's been a learning process for sure. It's been amazing. I'm so thankful for it, but you guys will see it next year.
Now, there have been numerous different times that Jaclyn Hill has tried to make people believe that she is the owner, founder, and CEO of Jaclyn Hill Cosmetics, or Jaclyn Cosmetics, whatever you want to call it. But you know, after the bankruptcy happened with Morphe and Forma and all that, the truth really became very apparent after all the legal documents came out. But up until that point, Jaclyn Hill really did maintain that she was the owner of Jaclyn Cosmetics. Here you can see in a tweet from March 8, 2021, in a response to someone that said, how come she's just the founder and not the founder and CEO? And Jaclyn responded to that and said, I am the CEO as well. They just labeled me as founder, which is fine. Now, you guys, this has to be so embarrassing for Jaclyn. She had to know that when she put these tweets out that later this would be revealed. There is just no way in my mind that she believed that Morphe was going to survive forever. Like, who thought that Morphe was going to be around in 20 years? I certainly did not. But at that time, Jaclyn Hill was very comfortable lying to people because, again, in June of 2022, she said, I am the owner, founder, and CEO of Jaclyn Cosmetics. Now, like I said previously, just a second ago, we all know that she is a liar, and the court documents from the bankruptcy absolutely corroborate that Jaclyn Hill is 100% a damn liar. Because if you look here, at no point in time on this list, on this legal document where it's talking about all the people that were in charge at Jaclyn Cosmetics, Jaclyn Hill is literally nowhere to be found. And this dates all the way back to 2017 in February. And Jaclyn Hill's name is literally nowhere to be found on the screen here in front of you. If you can find Jaclyn Hill's name on this document saying she was the CEO, any of that, please let me know, because this is a legal document. Now, I promise you guys we're building up to the reaction. There's just a whole bunch more stuff that I want to show you. So another one of the biggest lies that happened that came out of Jaclyn Hill's mouth is that when you bought Jaclyn Cosmetics, you were buying from a family-owned business. So again, with these bankruptcy documents, we know that that was also another lie.
That I am so proud to be the owner of, I cannot even begin to tell you. Like, I look at my brand and my future launches and the launch that I'm having on the 30th of this month.
Owner, you guys. Owner, founder, and CEO, boss babe. That's what Jaclyn Hill would like you to believe. Jaclyn was nothing more than the face of a cosmetic brand that was developed after her so she could shield things to her audience that was already built in, that was already baked in, girl. Jaclyn Hill clowned all of you, and you guys ate it up. How embarrassing.
Sorry, I'm stumbling over my words. And I just cannot believe how privileged I am for this to be my product. Like, I am so proud of myself, and you guys know I'm so hard on myself. I'm such a perfectionist, and I'm honestly so mean to myself that for me to say that, it's such a big deal.
That's so weird that she wants validation from her audience that she's mean to herself. If you're mean to yourself, would you not know that you're mean to yourself? I don't even know why this had to be included. This was a very weird take to put into a launch video.
I am so proud of my brand. So I could not have a lipstick line without something being dedicated to my mom. So my mom actually created this lipstick on her own. I did not create this, my mom did. I gave her full range and I said, listen, it's a new lipstick line, but mom, you create whatever you want.
Jaclyn Hill gave her mom full range to make whatever she wanted on her makeup line, on the makeup line that belongs to Jaclyn Hill.
I don't care if it's a bright orange, if it's a bright red, I don't care what it is. You deserve to have something of your own in this line that people know, like, they are buying into a family business when they purchase from Jaclyn Cosmetics.
Are they though? Were they though? Because they can't anymore because it went defunct. Are they? Were they? I don't think so. But do you want to know something else that's even more crazy than all the lies that Jaclyn Hill has told throughout her whole career? Morphe actually went along with this, you guys, in a post that they made celebrating Jaclyn Hill's birthday one year. Morphe Brushes said, "Happy birthday to the founder, creator, and CEO of Jaclyn Cosmetics and a really good friend of Morphe, Queen Jaclyn Hill." If this is not these people blatantly putting this in your face, letting you know, hey, like, we're gonna lie to you and we're gonna take all your money and we may also give you bad products, like, I don't know what this is. Now, here's something else that a lot of people forget about when they're talking about Lipstick Gate and everything that happened. A lot of people forget that Nikita Dragun actually foreshadowed what was going to be taking place when Jaclyn Hill launched Jaclyn Cosmetics. This is the most unsatisfying lipstick I have ever seen. I seriously cringed so hard over small holes. What the fuck? Who else? And Nikita Dragun responded to her and said, "Wow, is this a preview of Jaclyn Hill Cosmetics?" And Jaclyn said, laughing my ass off, "People think you're throwing shade at me. And no, it's not." Well, girl, yes, it was. Yes, it was. Do you guys think that Jaclyn Hill remembers on the 5th anniversary of Lipstick Gate that this tweet exists? Do you think that she ever thinks about any of this stuff and how it all panned out for her and how bad she looks? Do you ever think that she has any kind of remorse? Because I don't. Now, originally before the anniversary of Dramageddon happened, I was actually looking back through my phone for some receipts about some things, and I seen this tweet that Jaclyn put out in May of 2019 saying, filming the full reveal video for Jaclyn Cosmetics today. And I had intended to actually have that up on the day that she posted the Jaclyn Cosmetics reveal video just 5 years later, but I'm a lazy piece of shit, so I'm doing it now. Now, of course, being a drama channel at the time, I have my own videos from that whole situation, and I made one that I want to put in this video because I believe it showcases a lot of what was actually going on with Lipstick Gate all in one place. So I'm gonna play this and react to it now.
And I know that people are like dying for it, and it's every single day, it's all over my social media, and I'm just like, oh, like I'm such a perfectionist that it really scares me. But I'm finally getting to the point where I'm like,
I just need to launch the products that I have, because I literally have products that have been created and they're ready to be filled and they're ready to go.
This was in June of 2018. Now, I want to say before we get a little bit further into this, I feel like just off the rip, Jaclyn Hill is giving JoJo Siwa energy in this. We didn't even know that at this point, but that feels like something JoJo Siwa would say.
Ready to be filled and they're ready to go.
I'm just like, oh, because I overthink everything. But the first launch is gonna be absolutely incredible, and I cannot wait.
That's a huge one, I know. It's like there's more than one. Yep, definitely. Oh my gosh.
I just pulled that out.
Holy cow.
People complaining about little beads and ball ups in their lipsticks. Basically, what people are having happen is that when they are applying their lipsticks, they are noticing that there are...
Listen, I do not deal with Raw Beauty Christie after what happened last year, but we have to admit that she really held Jaclyn Hill accountable for this. Like, she was the first person to like really speak out with a huge platform. We're going to talk a little bit more closer to the end of this video about other people that came out and talked about Jaclyn, and some were a lot more shady than others.
Little balls and beads in the lipsticks, and when they are swiping them on, it's causing little lines, and they're finding that some people think it's plastic, some people think it is one of the butters in the lipsticks chunking up, either moisture spots, mold. I don't know what it is, and I can't confirm it. Maybe I'll whip out my microscope and get really in there and see if I can see what's going on.
Oh God. If you don't like holes, don't look.
I'm sorry, the memes that came out on the internet this time, if you were not a Twitter user, you definitely missed out. I'm just going to say that. Like, to be on the internet right after James Charles got dragged during Dramageddon just for Jaclyn Hill to have this huge mess up. What a time to be alive. What a time to be alive. Happy anniversary, Jaclyn.
Look at these photos. Oh wow, the tip looks crazy. My goodness, what is that? I don't know. It looks like it could just be little air bubbles. I don't know if that's normal. It's like little beads of something. I'm sorry, but this is gonna piss me off. I only noticed one, and then I swatched it on my hand, and now a few more have popped through.
All right, let's just keep it moving. Since we just did nude AF, let's do as if, because this is equally as nude, but it is a, oh my gosh, what is on there? It is a, sorry, this is my personal collection I'm using right now.
She really could have just left that out, girl. That was also before she dropped Jaclyn Cosmetic. Like, why as a brand owner would you ever post you pulling hair out of something? Because if it happens later to your brand and you called it gross, people are going to use it against you.
How creamy and buttery it is. It goes on, it glides on honestly like a glass slipper. It is so beautiful, and it can be paired with anything. You can put gloss over top of it, you can put a lip liner underneath it, it doesn't ball up.
So this is a tweet when Jaclyn Hill started getting called out. She was responding to people during Lipstick Gate, and she said, "You posted swatches 2 days ago loving the lipsticks. Now you're wondering why it's lumpy. It's obvious this lipstick is used and not fresh from factory. Like any other lipstick, if you use it over other products, have dry lips, etc., things like this can happen." And this was Jaclyn Hill throwing shade at her followers, somebody that bought this shit with their own money, girl. She's acknowledging that this person paid for her product and loved it, and then 2 days later they had an issue with it, and she's throwing shade, saying that her customer may have had like crusty lips. Are you out of your mind, Jaclyn Hill? What?
It doesn't ball up, it doesn't ball up, it doesn't ball up, it doesn't ball up.
But here's where things really took a turn, and I mean like a left turn really fast, because after all the customers bought all this shit from Jaclyn Cosmetics, people started talking about it, like in the thousands. And there were allegations that Jaclyn Cosmetics actually may have had dogs in the lab when they were producing these lipsticks. Now, of course, all of this is alleged, obviously for legal reasons, but Cassandra Banks uncovered this topic very well, so I only find it appropriate to add this to the video on the anniversary of Lipstick Gate. That way we can have all the information in one place.
And cats have been found inside of the cosmetic manufacturer's facility that Jaclyn Hill used to create her cosmetics, allegedly. So first off, hello from the airport. You're probably wondering what the hell is going on, and same here. There's some new information that came up, and I'm going to try to post that here, as well as explain kind of what's going on that I believe ties into what I found on the Jaclyn Hill lipsticks. So as you know, I found hairs, again, 99.9% positive they're animal. The only 0.1% that I am not positive is because I don't want to be sued.
Shade on shade, girl. Shade on shade.
Strange things have happened this week, and I don't exactly want to talk about it. Some frustrating things have happened this week, and the reason that my video is not up is because it's 3.5 hours long and my laptop is overheating. But in that time, a lot has happened. Specifically, some people on Reddit right here identified oxygen labs or oxygen development inside of Florida as the potential.
I am telling you, I said it in my last video, I will say it again, the Redditors, you can't get anything past. So if you think you have secrets, don't start talking on the internet about something that you don't want Redditors to know about. Those people are better than the FBI, girl.
Or the alleged manufacturer of Jaclyn Hill Cosmetics. Now, they are originally from Europe, and it sounds like they opened a branch here in Florida. This should be no problem, except for what has been found at these facilities. So I did some digging on Facebook. There is a Twitter account that I found some information on, as well as some of my own research that I did from my mobile phone. And there were dogs found in this facility. An employee who was working at the facility posted when a dog got in, and you can look at these people's attire and their workspace and confirm that this is the same facility. And on top of that, someone posted a picture with no details about a cat in a cage, and they tagged Oxygen Labs as the location it was taken, and this person happens to be an employee of Oxygen Development. And again, I'm using the terms development and lab and manufacturer very loosely here, the way Jaclyn did. If you actually get into the business of beauty, those things are.
I love that she is like getting Jaclyn Hill together, and she's just doing it so effortlessly. Like, you're using these words interchangeably, and Jaclyn Hill does do that a lot.
Very, very different, which we talk about in the long video that my computer is crapping out on. By the way, having to do a hard drive reset, that's coming on Monday. So I'm like, do I try to re-edit in the meantime, or do I just wait for this new refurbished computer? Because my life is really testing me right now. But inside of this lab, there have been 2 animals confirmed with photo evidence. Now,
can we talk about that for a second? Like, why? Like, are they doing lab tests on these animals? Like, are they testing these products on animals? Is that a thing that was going on? That's alarming. That's alarming for many reasons. I would like to know. Do you guys know?
there has been a lot of complaints. There have been some complaints from the FDA. Again, the Food and Drug Administration investigated in, I believe it was 2011 or 2012. I again found this off of a Twitter account, and then I went to the FDA government website to confirm this. And it looks like there were some issues about this specific development place not meeting quality control. Does that sound familiar to you? So quality control has been an issue with the government in the past. On top of that, when we look at this lab, some people might say, or this manufacturing warehouse, some people might say, how do you know that's Jaclyn Hill's? Good question. Again, the Twitter account that I found some of this information on stated and actually drew circles from Jaclyn Hill's original marketing video.
That is so wild to me. The fact that these people were able to put all this together with some photos that Jaclyn Hill put on the internet with a video, like, I'm telling you.
And compared it to the labs inside of Oxygen Development, the photos taken inside of that facility. And if we do compare them, they look to be the same location. Also, when you look at Oxygen Development and you kind of dig into the details of what they do, a lot of the stuff does align. This is in Florida. Jaclyn Hill is in Florida. And again, this lab or this manufacturer does not seem to be all there. I while doing my own research, found some disturbing stuff about racism, which I'm not cool with, no está bien para mí, for multiple reasons. And unfortunately, there have been, or fortunately for us, I don't know, there have been a lot of reports on Glassdoor about this as well. Glassdoor allows people to see the working environments of companies. And there was one in particular from a couple of years ago, and again, date stamping all of these, that specifically said, how can this place even exist? Not only are they horrible to their employees, but the person says that they would not use the makeup on their own face because of what they have seen go down in this facility. When you're working with different pigments, different chemicals, different processes, fires happen. That is normal. And I think that more indicative of, you know, an overall company's process is how they deal with that instead of what actually happens, because mistakes can happen. Kind of like in this Jaclyn Hill.
You know what's really interesting about this? I wonder if this is a lab that only Morphe used for Jaclyn Cosmetics, or if this lab was also used for other Morphe products, since we know now that Jaclyn Cosmetics was a subsidy of Morphe. That would be some very interesting tea.
Hill case, mistakes happen. It's not the mistake, it's how you deal with it. And I said a lot of things about things not being her fault from a legal standpoint, because when you look legally, there are different levels of fault within the eyes of the law. So is she guilty? Is she faulty? Those are, you know, those are two legal definitions that I think are being misconstrued by the public. But when it comes to this facility, there was a warehouse fire there, and inside of this, I believe it was a news article that I found that stated it was an aluminum-based fire when they were grinding cosmetics. They were grinding different metals, essentially, that were going to be used in eyeshadow, and that created sparks, which lit some stuff on fire, and toxic fumes were spilled into the air. Now, I do believe authorities came and cleaned
I didn't even remember all this, girl. I'm getting a refresher myself. Shit.
it up. There are pictures of people outside in hazmat suits and like pregnant women. Again, I think it's more important that they cleaned it up okay and that their workers are taken care of rather than what actually happened. But it just goes to show that maybe this isn't as good of a place as we thought. So again, I found what I believe to be rat hairs on these cosmetics. Some of them kind of looked like mink. I have contacted...
Oh my God. Didn't, I think it was, what's her name? Kristen Leanne. Did she, I swear I feel like she said that she found like animal hair in hers too. Is that like a fever dream? I really do think that Kristen Leanne said the same thing.
So many veterinarians, and guess what? I didn't know that as part of veterinary training, veterinarians are not expected to know what hairs or fibers from animals look like on a microscopic level. Again, I've studied human skin, I've studied human hair, I don't know much about animal hair. I can't identify this as an animal hair because it has a medulla and the cortex is different. The structures of the hair, again, pictures of what I found, and then I'm comparing the photos of what I found to Google, but I've realized that what I need is someone who specializes in animal hair, potentially someone in forensics. I've reached out to some people who study actual like hair, like balding in humans as well, trichology and hair stuff, and they don't know animal stuff, they only know human hair. And out of the people that I've contacted, everyone is afraid of being sued, just like me, because of what has happened so far. So that being said, I want to show these hairs. I believe they are from a rodent. I also have a professor who I have not gotten a
Girl, not a rodent. A rodent? That just sounds disgusting.
Quote from, but I spoke to him loosely. He has worked as a forensic, he's worked in anthropology, let's put it that way, and archaeology. And he took a look at this, and his immediate thought before I told him any background was rodent. So is it rodent or is it not? I'm not making any claims, I'm just posting pictures of what I found. And again, as of now, I have not seen any FDA reports that says there are rats in this oxygen development facility, but there are photos of a dog that just walked in, and there are photos of a cat in a cage tagged at this location taken by employees years ago. So it's not like someone's just posting this to start crap. And when it comes to my video, I also did some sampling, and I also did some swabs and cultures. And all of that is explained in the video, along with my technique and what faults my technique may have had. Now, I do want to make it clear, I didn't, and I still don't want to post this until everyone else's results come back, because this was not done by a third party, this was done by me and myself. I did end up growing a mold, and I did end up growing a bacteria. Now, again, science is not valid unless it is repeatable. And if you guys don't know who Kenna is, please go check out her channel.
Do you guys remember this? This was a huge series back in the day. I forgot about it up until this point. Well, if I would have thought of that, I would have put some of that in this video.
And hundreds of dollars of her own money to test lipsticks and test samples from a control group to see if things grew. Her results came back completely negative. I think there's some other people testing, I don't know. Again, bacteria and fungus are a part of our lives. We should not be afraid of them. But what I grew was very different. So the question becomes, was this growing on the lipstick or not? Again, I go through all of this in a second follow-up video.
That looks nasty as fuck. I'm just gonna be honest, that looks fucking gross.
Because I show not only my technique and how I'm getting to these answers, but I also explain what could have gone wrong, what could be growing or why, and show the technique that, you know, microbiologists would normally use to figure this kind of stuff out. Only, of course, I was using my phone, I was using cameras to record this, to share it with others, and hopefully inspire others to learn about science and get curious about the world around us, which in any professional setting, I would not have been able to do, nor would any other microbiologist or person who does this cosmetic lab testing. So, again, I have not released that second video yet because my computer is in repair up until Monday and it's dying on me. Someone please send help or money, send help or money. But that is not the point to complain. It is the point of saying, again, I'm not making claims, but I wouldn't use this stuff. And I think that something more needs to be done. When we look at the legal definition of fault, there is, I don't know, I am not a lawyer, let's just put it that way, and I have spoken to a couple of lawyers about what has happened. But if anyone knows a forensic pathologist or somebody who could look at these damn hairs for me.
So now we need to actually watch Jaclyn's My Lipsticks video. This is the video where she addressed everything, the fuzzies, all that different stuff. So let's take a moment and remember in silence Lipstick Gate. Okay, now let's play this video.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I don't even need to give you an intro. You know why we are here. I want to address some of the issues that my customers are having with my first launch of my brand, Jaclyn Cosmetics, and my lipsticks. First and foremost, I want to let you guys know the bases I'm going to be covering throughout this video. I want to talk about the melting issue. I want to talk about the white fuzzies. I want to talk about the black holes. And I want to talk about the grittiness and the texture that you guys are experiencing.
That is a lot of issues for somebody that says that they are a perfectionist, and for someone that worked on a product this long. Jaclyn, you said you worked on this product, what, 3-4 years? Don't know why that's acceptable.
And give you informed details of what all of these issues are, what is causing them, and how they're going to be fixed. I just want to put that out there before even jumping into the actual video so that you guys know that I'm not going to run away from this. And I know it's taken me a couple days to get all my
girl, this is the same person that made fun of the situation we're going to talk about a little bit later.
My ducks in a row and get this video out for you guys, but I've been going through all the documentation and on the phone with labs and chemists and the owner of my lab and my entire team for several days and doing a very in-depth investigation to figure out exactly what's going on so that I can give you the most informed information as a brand owner. The first thing that I want to address before anything else is the accusations that my lipsticks are expired, moldy, or hazardous in any way, shape, or form. I'm going to put up documents throughout this entire video so you guys can see the actual proof, because I'm not going to sit here and like read papers to you guys. I'm going to put it right there on the screen so you can see proof. So number one, let's start with the expired accusation. My lipsticks did not go into mass production until the same month that I actually launched my brand. It was only a couple weeks prior to my launch that we started actual mass production.
I have the screenshot somewhere of the stuff that's not redacted, because when Jaclyn Hill posted this video, she didn't have it blurred out or anything, but I don't really think it's pertinent. It's just basically her trying to show you some paperwork to make you think that what she did is okay, in my opinion.
Although I had been so in-depth with my formulation, my colors, and approving all of that, mass production did not go into production until right before my launch, because we wanted them to be fresh. We didn't want them to sit on shelves. And because my brand has been pushed back so many times, I actually already went through the same situation with a different lab several years ago. I went into mass production.
And that is why people thought that this was old product. Because Jaclyn Hill led people to believe for years that she already had this stuff ready to go. Hopefully the clips that I've played in this video will put that all together for you guys, but this is a big reason why people believe that this was old expired makeup, because Jaclyn Hill hinted at a launch for years, like year after year after year after year. So when this product came out and it had all this stuff in it, a lot of people were worried. They were thinking that they were getting old stuff. That's her own fault too.
Ended up having an issue while in mass production and then didn't launch my brand and had to go to a whole new lab because I didn't want those issues to happen again. So I canceled them and went somewhere else. I tried to cover my tracks. I f***ed up.
Girl, what? Like, you're literally admitting here that you try to cover up your tracks. Is this someone that you really want to buy products from? Honestly, in my opinion, no shade at all, just being like completely honest. If somebody's going to tell me that they tried to cover their tracks on something, I'm never going to believe anything they say ever again.
But they are not expired. I know you guys have seen photos of my components all over my socials here and there throughout the last couple of years. I've been working on my components for 5 years straight to get it perfect, but just because I've been working on a component, you guys have seen that, does not mean that there's an actual lipstick inside of it that I kept on a shelf and sold to you guys. Just want to put that out there and know my...
I don't think it's out of the realm of possibilities of something that you would do. I'm not saying that's what you did. But I definitely think that that's something that Jaclyn Hill would do.
Intentions and what's real, what's not, and give you the facts. Second of all, my lipsticks are not moldy. They are not hazardous. They are not contaminated. They are not unsafe for you in any way, shape, or form. Every single ingredient in my lipstick is new and it is FDA approved. And again, I will give you proof right here if you guys want to look over these documents in depth and tear them apart. You go...
Is there even any such thing as a FDA approved lipstick? Is there an FDA approved lipstick? Girl, the mental gymnastics.
Right ahead and see that they are not contaminated. Every single ingredient is FDA approved and they are not expired.
They're not contaminated, girl. What is the definition of contamination? If you have something in a product that's not supposed to be there, guess what it is? I'll give you a second. Contaminated. I do not and I will not ever understand how Jaclyn Hill got away with this just to later go on and make fun of the situation. You guys, like, this is so wild.
I want to ease your minds with that before even getting into all the nitty gritty stuff of this video so that you're not sitting here thinking like, oh my gosh, is it true that if I use this lipstick that it's gonna hurt me in some way? No, that is not the case. And now you guys have seen that, so let's move forward. All right, so the first thing I want to touch base on are the little black dots or black holes that you guys are seeing. What these black dots are actually oxygen bubbles, and they are being lifted to the surface when my lipstick bullet is being cooled off, when it's going from a hot temperature, fresh out of the vat, and it's gonna go into my actual component and just be cooled down so that the component cap can be put on top. In that process, sometimes those oxygen bubbles don't make it all the way through and you'll see little itty bitty, almost like black like holes. It's not actually like black holes.
This would have been the perfect place for me to insert that clip of that tweet where Nikita responded to her. Perfect.
And it's not mold, it is oxygen, and it is 100% safe. It is not going to hurt you, but seeing those dots are not pretty, and they're not like, you don't look at that component, you don't look at that lipstick and think like, oh yeah, I want to put this on my lips. So if you're experiencing that, please contact help@jaclyncosmetics.com. Show us a photo of your product. We will send you not only a full refund, but we will also give you a brand new lipstick that does not have any of those issues that you're concerned about. The second thing I want to touch on is the texture and the grittiness that you guys are seeing in your lipsticks. Now, although this is not happening to everybody, it's still happening. And basically what this is caused from is...
It really did feel like it was happening to a lot of people because it was happening to a lot of people. Jaclyn Hill tries to minimize that all the time. If she talks about it, she'll say it was like less than like 1% or 2%. I think people get lost in the fact that Jaclyn Hill sold probably hundreds of thousands of units. So that 1 or 2% is actually a lot.
The humongous vats, it's almost like, I always want to use the word beaker, but it's not like a beaker or smaller. It's like these gigantic, huge vats that are in labs. It's like this gigantic thing that holds all of your lipstick and it like spins like this and mixes everything up. That vat is not breaking down all of my raw materials because we produce so many lipsticks so quickly. Again, all the products in these vats are 100% FDA approved ingredients and totally good and safe for you to use, but they're not being broken down small enough and smoothly enough, which I take full responsibility for. We made a lot of product in a very short amount of time, and although we all thought that it was going to be perfect and fresh, that's not the case. We moved too quickly, and because of that, the ingredients are not broken down. I will say this, you're still going to get the same effect on your lips. They're still going to give you a nice creamy...
Girl, listen to her try to sell this shit. She's trying to say like, girl, go ahead and use it. She's trying to deter people from returning this. That's what it's coming across as to me, at least. Like, yeah, girl, go ahead, use it. It's just ugly. It's just ugly. It's not cute. I took all this time to design this beautiful component. Just use the ugly lipstick, girl. It ain't gonna hurt you.
Formulation, it's still gonna look beautiful once it's applied, but it's not pretty to look at. And when you apply it, sometimes you can feel like a little bit of that texture and that grittiness, and that is so not okay. And I want to make that right for you. And again, I'm gonna reiterate it over and over and over to contact help@jaclyncosmetics.com. Of course, I will put that email in the video. I'll put it down below. Contact them. All you need to do is show them any proof, a video, a photo, whatever it is, and we will take care of everything for you and make it right. I know a lot of people are like, yeah, what if people are lying? I don't even care. Like, I want to make this right for my customers.
Okay. That is a big reason, in my opinion, why Morphe went under, because you guys, Jaclyn Hill ended up doing like a full refund for everybody that purchased this from her. But even past that, there's still people to this day that are saying that they didn't get their refund. But can you imagine the amount of money that would cost a company? Because think about it, they're out of the product that they developed. They're out of the shipping where they ship this product out, unless the customer had to pay for it. I don't know if there was free shipping at the time, but then they're also out the money that they refunded. So think about that. Think about all the money that Morphe lost behind Jaclyn Hill. I wonder how that makes Linda feel.
This is my first launch, and it's very embarrassing. I'm not gonna make it about myself in any way and tell you how I feel about this, but it's embarrassing for me to not see you guys fully happy, and I am so sorry that any of you are experiencing anything less than absolute perfection from my first launch. And I will do whatever it takes to make it up for you. I will send you a brand new lipstick. I will pay for it myself. I'll give you a full refund. I don't care. I want you guys to experience the products that I approved, that I love, and what I want to create for my brand going forward. Next, let's talk about the white fuzzies. This is the thing that gets me going. So when I first heard the definition and the reason for these white fuzzies on some of these lipsticks, I 100% did not believe it. I got very upset, and I was like, why are you lying to me? Why are you trying to treat me like I'm an idiot? This is ridiculous. Like, I need a better explanation. But after thorough investigation, we know what the actual issue is. And I know that a lot of you guys are gonna have a hard time believing this, because I did as well. This is the truth. Because my lipstick component is a silver, shiny, almost metal-like material, my lab, instead of using a standard glove that they would use in the lab, they decided to use white cotton gloves. They're like fluffy white gloves.
I like how she emphasizes the T's in that. Cotton glove.
Because they didn't want the standard gloves to put any smears on this component, to in any way have any sort of prints on it. So they wanted to do a white fluffy glove. First, when I heard this, I thought, but wait, how are a couple people wearing white fluffy gloves gonna put this many fluffy white little fuzzies all over my product? That doesn't make sense, right? Well, then once I started seeing videos and I started seeing proof, and then my team actually did our own investigation, it actually made a lot more sense in my mind, and I'll tell you guys exactly what that is. We have several people, up to 20 people, working on my lipsticks on the line every single day as they're being produced, and every single one of those people are wearing white gloves. When I tell you guys how many times a day they have to change gloves and put on new ones, it's crazy. Every time they need to take a call, they have to step off the floor, off the line, out of the production area, they have to take off their gloves, and they have to get brand new ones when they walk.
Were they walking their dog, though? Because if in fact there were dogs and cats and stuff in there. So there was allegedly fuzzies in the lipsticks, and there was also allegedly rodent hair. That's a lot of mistakes on your first go, Jaclyn.
Back in. They have to take off their hair nets, they have to take off their beard nets, they have to replace everything once they come back in. They don't get to walk out, go to the bathroom, put on the same gloves, and come back in. So when you think about 15, 20 people working on a line, all replacing their gloves every 30 minutes, 45 minutes, hour and a half, it's a lot of brand new, freshly white gloves coming in to that region that is spreading lint all over the product. Not acceptable at all. And the second we saw this, we changed to different gloves that will not be giving this issue whatsoever.
But why, like, were they not quality checking? Like, how did they not catch that? Like, I feel like you would see white fuzzies on a lipstick before you packed it up to ship it out to a customer. I feel like you would be able to see that. Or did you just not care? Or did the people doing this not pay enough attention? That's what I want to know. Because I just, as somebody that's going to be launching something soon, I'm going to take that shit very seriously. But I feel like Jaclyn Hill is nonchalant in her perfectionism.
On top of that, they were cleaning my vats, which is the big, humongous bucket that has my batches inside of it. They were cleaning those vats with like this white fiber, almost towel going through it. And that's been happening about once a day, they said, to sometimes twice a day, depending how quickly we're moving through batches. So those two things combined, that is what you are experiencing, are little white.
It kind of sounds like they were rushing it. like 100%, I don't know if I said this in the past, but was this a situation where the brand was rushed? Was there like a deadline? I don't understand why they didn't take the time they needed. They took all these years to develop this. Jaclyn Hill says she put all this time in this to make this perfect. Why like make everything perfect and then at the last minute, at the last part, the final stretch, let it go? That's why I just don't think that Jaclyn Hill ever really cared about this brand the way she would lead you to believe that she did. It just doesn't make sense, because if you're going to like put your energy into something that you care about, it's going to show. I have a really hard time understanding how this happened if Jaclyn Hill is what she says she is.
Cotton fibers coming off of their gloves, and it is so beyond unacceptable, and I am so sorry this happened to you guys, and for obvious reasons, we will no longer be making any more products with this lab, because that's just not what you guys deserve. So again, contact me and my team. We will get you a full refund and a new perfect bullet that does not look like that. But let me just say this, it is not harmful.
So you get a refund and a new product. I forgot that they were doing that too. So imagine that. Imagine being the company behind this. You have to pay to produce the product the first time, then you have to pay to produce it a second time, and then you have to refund it and you have to ship it out. Like millions more if you had to lose behind this. Millions form a loss behind it, whatever.
Harmful for you. This is not in any way harmful. It's just little white cotton fuzzies that come from a very sterile environment. Still not okay. But I just want to let you guys know that if it doesn't bother you, it doesn't bother you. Like, I've had several people contact me. They're like, oh, I don't care. I just wiped it off and used it. And I'm like, that's fine, but still.
Literally nobody said that. I can guarantee you that there's nobody out there that would just wipe the stuff that was on these lipsticks away and use it, because they look gross. You guys have seen them. You have seen them.
It's not perfect, and it's not what I want for my product. So contact Jaclyn Cosmetics and we will figure it out and we'll make it right. Lastly, I want to talk about the melting issue. And even though you guys are seeing a lot of stuff all over social media, like when I log on to social media, I'm just like, oh my God. But from the back end of my brand and actually looking at emails, the biggest issue and the biggest complaint is actually the melting issue. It's actually 80% of our complaints is melting.
I find that hard to believe, but go on.
And I know it's crazy, right? You would think that like the grittiness and all that other stuff, but no, all the other stuff is only 20%, which is insane because social media is so loud and out there. And it looks like it's so aggressive and so terrible, but behind the scenes of what I'm seeing, I'm like, all right.
Girl, I'm telling you right now, and I'm gonna show you some stuff that's gonna corroborate what I'm about to say. Jaclyn Hill tried to minimize the fuck out of this. She tried to make this small when it was really like this big, girl. She tried to make this like a pea, and it was the size of like a bowling ball. There were so many people on Twitter alone. I can't even imagine the people that don't use Twitter that were calling her out. She is so full of shit.
Please contact me if you're having an issue. Reach out. Like, I want to fix it for you, you know? Like, I want to prove myself to you. And I thought that I was going to do that when I first launched, but I messed up and I made mistakes. And for that, I am so sorry. But please allow me to help make this right for you. Anyways, about the melting situation, which is about 80% of complaints, like I said, people are receiving some lipsticks in the mail and then they pull them out, they twist them up, they swatch them, they break. They break in the center. If you twist them up all the way, they'll break at the base, which is pretty standard even if you don't have a melted lipstick. If you roll all the way up and you swatch it, chances are if it's an emollient base lipstick, it's going to break at the base. So make sure that when you use your lipsticks, you do not roll.
Girl, like, who is doing that? Out of everybody that I know that wears makeup, I have never in my life ever seen somebody roll a lipstick all the way up to swatch it. Who does? Literally nobody does that. Did she just like sit down and try to freestyle this video with no thought? Do you really think that people are this gullible? Because that's wild to me. Nobody does that.
Up fully all the way when you are using it, just a side note. But what people are experiencing is it's showing up in the mail and it's almost having like a little sweat mark, like a little like circular sweat mark or like little like sweat dots. And then when you swatch it, the lipstick kind of leans to the side and then it's got like a little line on it because it's a very creamy, very emollient based product. So you really have to make sure that it's fully cooled down before using it. Tests on my lipsticks and shipping from here to there and all this jazz. But because of the climate right now, we are shipping to some people who are in such hot temperatures and such high degree that my lipsticks, they're not surviving it fully. My testing actually came out.
You see how she just like slides past the fact that she's shipping shipping to hot places, and not the fact that this lab is in Florida, which is one of the hottest states in America. It's hot as hell here. Girl, I'm even wearing the shirt. It's hotter than a hoochie coochie here. That's where these things were made. In the state I'm living in. It's hot as hell here, not where you're shipping them, girl. I mean, it might be hot where you're shipping them. I don't know, but let's just not pretend like Florida is the coolest state in the world.
To about 140 degrees Fahrenheit, which means that my specific lipstick can withstand 140 degrees before actually melting all the way through, which is a very high temperature. But once these lipsticks are getting onto trucks that are, 100 degrees on the inside, these UPS trucks, and then they're sitting outside of people's houses at their front doors while they're at work, and then they come home and they pull it out. Yes, they're not fully melted all the way through and just like a puddle inside, but yeah, they might have little sweat dots on them. When you swatch them, they might kind of lean to the side. So please give your lipsticks enough time to fully cool off before you go in and apply it. We are working on a solution for that for you guys right now though, so that again, you're not dealing with anything that's going to dissatisfy you. Like, I just want to make sure that you guys are happy. That's all that matters to me. And if there's anything that I'm not covering in this video that I haven't seen on social media, please, again, contact my team and we will take care of you. Now that I have been like spazzing going through all of this.
Was it Taylor Swift that had to remove that word from a song or something? Why didn't Jaclyn Hill get in drag for that?
Because I'm just so eager to get this video up. I really just want to take a moment to genuinely thank those of you who have reached out to me, telling me what's going on, and everyone on Twitter and Instagram who are genuinely sending me photos, like asking me and concerned. I am very grateful for your honesty. I'm very grateful for you coming forward and telling me what's going on, because I want to fix this. And I would never know if you guys didn't keep me informed. So I want to say thank you very
You would never know, girl. It was everywhere.
very much to everybody who has come forth, because I did an interview about my brand a couple months ago, and that's what I said in this interview. I said that my number one thing is that I want my subscribers to be honest with me. I want them to tell me genuinely.
How about you be honest with your subscribers, girl? You got to be honest with them before they could ever be honest with you.
What they feel about my product, so that I can continue to take your information and move forward with it and give you the best products that you guys could receive. Like, that's very important to me. And I'm very sorry that this launch was not absolutely 100% perfect with a bow on it, but we will make it right for you. And going forward, we will no longer be experiencing these experiences that we are having. We are taking drastic measures to change that and make sure that everything is amazing for you. I actually have had to pull several launches because I was doing them with this lab that I had coming up and had to change labs on several different products. So there's going to be a slight delay in some things later on, but that doesn't matter. Like, I just want to make sure that you guys are receiving the best of the absolute best. So in the future, even if you choose.
You didn't do that in the first place, though, Jaclyn. Like, that's why I get so mad at Jaclyn. For somebody to say that they're a perfectionist the way she does, like over and over and over, and blowing smoke up her own ass. Like, how do you get to this monumental screw up this way? How do you do that? If this were the only launch that Jaclyn Hill ever had issues with, I would not go hard on her about that. But the fact that she's had issues with other Morphe drops, the vegan formula, all the issues with Becca, Face Master, all these different things before this, I would cut Jaclyn some slack. But I just really can't feel sorry for her or feel bad for her when she's too busy tooting her own horn to actually give a damn about the products that she's saying that she's putting time into when she's not. So I don't feel bad for her at all.
Choose not to be a Jaclyn Cosmetics customer, even if you lose trust in me, that's okay. Like, I understand. I promise you guys all around the board perfect products, and not all of them were all around the board perfect products. So I get it. But I'm going to work very hard, and I'm going to work very diligently to make sure that within the next couple of months, within the next year, you're gonna look at my brand and be like, oh wow, this actually is good. Like, she actually corrected her error and she learned from her mistakes, because it's exactly what I'm going to do. And I'm so sorry for anyone who received anything less than perfect. I take full responsibility. This is my brand with my name on it and my team that I've created. And I am so sorry that you've received something that is not exactly how I described it to you. So that's it. I love you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you for understanding. Contact help at jaclyncosmetics.com.
I want to know what you guys think. Do you think that she did a thorough job addressing the issues at hand? Do you think that she really addressed the things the way they needed to be addressed, like a CEO would? Oh, wait a minute. She wasn't the CEO. But now I want to get into some of the people that address Jaclyn Hill and Jaclyn Cosmetics. And this is going to be like my favorite part of this video, because the video I'm going to show you guys of Patrick Starr literally tickles me. It is one of the funniest things I think has ever been put on the internet, you guys. Check this out.
So I'm just here editing, but Zach is here, my friend Zachary. So he separated the ones that have hairs and the ones that have holes. This one, oh my god.
Now, guys, remember, this is a PR kit. This was sent from Jaclyn Cosmetics as a PR package to Patrick Starr. So he even had the fuzzies, and he had the holes.
What are those holes? What does that mean?
It's fungus. Y'all need to shut the fuck up. Y'all, this one. Oh my. And this is the PR package. No. No, what is this?
Fungus.
Is it in the daylight, y'all?
I love how his friend in the back is like, it's fungus, girl. But now I want to talk about somebody else that threw shade at Jaclyn Hill over Lipstick Gate, but somehow now they're friends. I don't understand why, because if you remember, Jeffree Star was shouting out Jaclyn Cosmetics as well as Jaclyn Roxanne right before everything went out of business. And people tend to forget everything that he said about Jaclyn Hill in regards to Lipstick Gate. You guys check this out.
What are you doing over there? Until you really know what's going on over there, you better remember when I refused to talk or review about Jaclyn's lipstick.
So when Jaclyn Hill wants to talk about people that said that there was mold and stuff in her lipsticks, she needs to talk to her friend Jeffree Star, because he was out here in a video that has how many views on it? Let's see. 12 million views 4 years ago, right after Lipstick Gate. Jeffree and Shane were throwing shade at Jaclyn Hill. But Jaclyn, you want to somehow blame drama channels for the optics of everything that happened with your brand and the fuzzies and Lipstick Gate. Girl, no, it was all you and it was your friend.
Black dots in there. Oh yeah. Wait, I haven't seen any.
Girl, I guess Jeffree's lab, because he ended up having the same thing happen to him. Do you guys not remember when he said the ribbon press was putting different ribbon strands into his palettes? Girl, if you live in glass houses, you shouldn't throw stones, Jeffree. Just saying.
What do you think she's gonna do? Is she like...
She needs to get the fuck on camera. I'm so embarrassed. I can't believe this happened. My lab fucked me. It's like, oh my god, I'm so...
As if it would all be on the lab in the first place. Jaclyn should have done her due diligence as a business owner, as a CEO, as a CEO, to know that that lab may have been trouble to begin with, because I assure you, as somebody that's connected to the beauty space, I could tell you a lot of things about that lab, because I assure you, if she would have looked, if she would have asked around to people in her circle or people that she talked to, she would have known. But she couldn't even do her due diligence on that. But Jeffree Star's giving her a pass on that too. Girl, no, we're not blaming just the lab.
Horrified. Everyone's getting a refund. And these things happen. You want me to be really real? People thought there was a hair in my highlighters a few years ago. It was, you know, when you're cleaning the machines with the paintbrush, the brush bristle hair, one of them fell into one of the pans and it popped up, and I was so horrified in the lab. Now it's switched and all.
Do y'all remember when Rich Lux said that that was Kat Von D's pubic hair?
California, you don't use those brushes anymore. because of my bitch ass, my incident. Why does she always have a problem with every launch? I feel horrible for her. I don't understand.
And Jaclyn Hill does have a problem with every single launch. Like I've said, do you remember in the past when she launched something with Morphe, she said that the website got hacked? It is literally always something. But after everything I've showed you in this video, Jaclyn Hill still to this day makes fun of lipstick gate like it wasn't a thing, like it didn't happen. She tries to brush it off like it wasn't a big thing. But I wanted to remind you guys on the 5th anniversary that it did happen. But I did want to show you guys this clip of Jaclyn Hill living in her delusion just to clear up any kind of like misunderstanding.
Horrified looks from everyone in the room, but I'm only looking at you.
And that is how a CEO addresses her lipstick gate drama. But I want to know what you guys think about this. I cannot believe that it's literally the 5th anniversary of lipstick gate. And in my opinion, this is one of the most infamous things to ever play out on the internet. But if you made it this far in this video and you enjoyed it, don't forget to like it and leave me the lipstick emoji. You already know why. But with that said, I hope you all have an amazing day and I will see you all in my next video. Bye guys.